got you guys with NFL free agency day 4. Now there wasn't a lot going on today like there was the last few days, but we still got some pretty significant signings. Uh, there's only 4 of them, so I'll start off with the first two, and that's Haason Reddick and Curtis Samuel. I'll start off with Haason Reddick. He signed a 1 year, $8 million with my Carolina Panthers. I'm very excited to see him in the black and blue and white, of course. You can't forget about white, but this was reported by Mike Garafalo and written by Nick Shook. Um, I think this is a very, very great addition to the Carolina Panthers, Mar, and I think this is gonna. I think, especially being Hassan Reddick, one of the more underrated edge rushers in the game. I think this is a very, very great addition to the Carolina Panthers defense, and I really do think that moving forward, the Panthers should improve on defense because they had a lot of talent on defense last year. Remember, you know, I even said that was going to be one of the better defenses in the league, but unfortunately, that just wasn't the case. So the Panthers grabbing Hassan Reddick as an edge rusher, I think it's a very, very great addition to the Panthers defense, and I'm looking forward to seeing him. Like I said, I gotta see him in that Carolina Panthers uniform. How good is he gonna look in the black, white, and blue? He's gonna look amazing, man. No more of that red, white, and black. Nah, 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 nah. You replace the red with the blue. That's what we do here. But look, I'm very excited for Hassan Reddick to make his debut with the Carolina Panthers. Welcome to Charlotte, and I'm just very, very excited for it. Now, let me get to the next one real quick. Next one's Curtis Samuel because this one's pretty important too. Um, he signed a 3 year, $34.5 million deal with the Washington football team. And this was reported by Ian Rappaport and written by Jelani Scott. This is while the Panthers added on defense, they also lost someone very significant on offense. So that's just going to take, while we have a great addition on the defense, we lost a great addition to the offense. So there's, it's a 50-50 here. There's good and there's bad going on in Charlotte right now. But um, with that being said, I know Carolina's high up in the first round, so they're most likely going to get like a quarterback or a wide receiver or something like that. Most likely a quarterback. I'm not sure, but in the draft this year, I expect the Panthers to look for a wide receiver. I'm not sure what you can get in the free agency market at this point. You could find somebody, you could, but I'm not sure who you can get. So my suggestion to my Panthers, just go draft a wide receiver um this draft. As for the Washington football team, this is a very, very great addition to their offense. I've said on the show before. Curtis Samuel is one of the more underrated wide receivers in the game. Is he the best? No, but he's definitely underrated. I think he was one of the 4 that had 1,000 scrimmage yards last year. I think could be wrong. I know it was DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and Mike Davis. They all had 1,000 scrimmage yards last year. Oh no, never mind. He had I think it was 851. Yeah, I mean it's still pretty good nonetheless. He's still a very good wide receiver. He did, even though the Panthers didn't get to the point they wanted to this year, he was still a very key asset to this offense. And with him gone, the Panthers are going to truly miss him. So with that being said, before I give it to you, Mar, I just want to say best of luck to Curtis Samuel in Washington. I thank him for what he's done for Carolina. I'm going to miss him, honestly.
Yeah, well, I'll start with Hassan Reddick. Yeah, obviously Hassan Reddick. I think he had a very underrated season. Obviously, he had that 5 sack game. I can't remember who was against, but Hassan Reddick. I'm gonna be honest with you, Nate. Yeah, he is very underrated too. And I think joining the Carolina Panthers is gonna show it's gonna show exactly how good of a player he is. Last year he had 12 and a half sacks. He had 63 tackles, so I think that was pretty impressive. Obviously the 5 sack game was a big part of it, but even if you were to take those 5 sacks away, he still has 7.5 sacks, which I think is really good as well. And he's going to be joining the Carolina Panthers. I think that absolutely helps their defense, which is something that last year they were in deep need of. Um, so I think that'll be absolutely a great spot for him. And best of luck to him and the Carolina Panthers. Sorry, I feel like a sneeze coming, but it's gone. As for Curtis Samuel, um, let me tell you something. This signing right here, I think this turned the Washington football team into the favorites to win the NFC East. I
Yeah,
think the only thing that they need, I'm going to be honest, is maybe a couple pieces to that offensive line and a quarterback to be a true quarterback. Whether that's going to
yeah,
be
I
Tyler
agree.
Heineke, Ryan Fitz, or a rookie in this draft, I think they need a true quarterback. But I think this makes them the favorite. To be honest with you, I don't think Dallas is you could say Dallas, but I just can't see it. Maybe like Dak if unless Dak goes completely off, Elliott goes completely off, and CeeDee Lamb has a great season. Same thing with Amari Cooper. Like they could do it, but Washington's my favorite to win this division. To be honest with you, if I got to be real, now you got Terry McLaurin, and now you got Curtis Samuel, and this gives Curtis Samuel a chance to prove that he is a true number two. Because on Carolina, I considered him more either number three or he was considered like some like a kind of a tricky running back.
Yeah,
They do all those like play, they do
'cause
all those like
he can do both. He's a hybrid between both.
yeah, they do all those wildcat plays with him. So like he didn't get the chance to prove that he could be a number two wide receiver. Obviously, DJ Moore was really good, and Robbie Anderson, they were most likely the number one and two. But now Curtis Samuel gets to prove that he is a number two wide receiver, and I wish him the best of luck in Washington because now he's going to be paired with his former roommate, actually his former dorm mate at Ohio State, Terry McLaurin. They're going to be paired together. And I can't wait to see what happens in Washington. That is my favorite to win the NFC East, and I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to have not only that, I think they're going to have a winning record if they get a quarterback. But they got to get a quarterback besides Ryan Fitz. Either that or Tyler Heineke's got to be the starter. He's got to show and he's got to play consistently like he did against Tom Brady's Bucks in the playoffs. But we'll see what happens with the Washington football team in the draft. I wish them the best of luck. Now going to two more signings. So I'll start off with Kyle Long. Kyle Long, longtime Bear center, has signed a deal with the Kansas City Chiefs. Let me tell you something, Nate. Okay, I think I think this is a good signing by the Kansas City Chiefs. Now he is coming out of retirement, which might be like a little bit of like a hesitation. See how good he's gonna do. But let me tell you something. The Chiefs have really been proving me wrong since they got rid of those two guys. When they got rid of Eric Fisher and Mitchell Schwartz, I was like, "Come on, what are you guys doing? You're really getting rid of this team." But when they were like, "Mario, shut your mouth and watch us get Joe Thuney and Kyle Long," and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna shut my mouth and watch you just hand money to Kyle Long and Joe Thuney." Which, by the way, I don't know how Kansas City has this money. I don't. After giving Patrick Mahomes,
I was just gonna say that too.
Travis Kelsey their extension. I don't know how they have this money, but I mean, regardless, first of all, congratulations to Kyle Long on signing with the Kansas City Chiefs. It doesn't say exactly how long the contract is or how much it's worth. I assume it's going to be like a 1 year, considering the fact that he's out of retirement. But um, this is a quote from the general manager at Kansas City Chiefs, Brett Veach. He said, and I quote, "We had an opportunity to meet with Kyle yesterday, and what really stood out was how much he loves the game and his drive to get back on the field. He's in great shape, a three-time Pro Bowl, and a really smart player with an incredible football pedigree. We're happy to choose. We're happy he chose to come here to Kansas City." So yeah, between him and Joe Thuney, they got a very good veteran offensive line. I feel like, and I feel like they could make a trip back to the Super Bowl. Obviously, I think a big factor of it is seeing all these teams make moves in free agency that I just didn't see that Kansas City was just not making until they got Joe Thuney. But I'm glad that they're prioritizing their focus on this offensive line because when you don't, you see what it could do to a quarterback. Like look at Russell Wilson's situation in Seattle. He doesn't have a lot of help on that offensive line, which is making him a little bit unhappy. So so focusing on that offensive line is a big key part to keeping your quarterback. And I think if Mahomes is going to be there for another however many years he's going to be there, I believe it's like 9 more years on his contract. He needs to have 9 more years worth of a good offensive line so he can do great things. You got to make your quarterback healthy. It's as simple as that. That's the leader of your offense. You got to make him healthy, happy. So with that being said, I wish Kyle Long the best of luck in Kansas City. I wish Kansas City Chiefs the best of luck as well. Now, going to my favorite signing yesterday. Now, my favorite sign. I don't know if it was what do you call it? I got the article right here. Hang on a second.
Yeah, which today.
Look, man. The Minnesota Vikings. I've been trashing them this whole free agency. I've seen them pass off player after player after player that was on the target list. First it was Shaq Griffin, Shaq Barrett, Joe Thuney. I'm trying to think. Brandon Sharif was there for a little bit. The Minnesota Vikings made me a happy man. They made me a happy guy. Okay. The Minnesota Vikings have signed Patrick Peterson on a 1 year, $10 million contract. I'm pumped. I'm psyched. Look, Patrick Peterson's a guy I've really seen as a football player. I really looked at him. I had a lot of admiration for him. Him and Larry Fitzgerald seem like the two oldest guys on the team. They seem like the two biggest veterans. But Patrick Peterson, what I like about Patrick Peterson is this. I like how he was able to play at a high. He's been able to play at a high level for so long. This is a guy who I believe came into the league. I believe he came into the league before Richard Sherman did. and he's just been able to stay in that like top cornerbacks conversation for so long. You know what I'm saying, Nate? And that's something I truly admire about him. And not only that, he's able to guard your number one guy day in and day out. Obviously, this is a big loss for Arizona. He's been with the team since his rookie year in 2011. So he's been there for 9 years, and this is going to be, and obviously he's leaving to go to Minnesota, which I'm going to welcome Patrick Peterson with open arms. He most likely he's going to be the first. He's going to be the starting corner on that team. But I think pairing him up with Cam Dantzler and Jeff Gladney, those two rookie corners or sophomore corners now, I think that's really going to help them. I think that is really going to help them in their building process. Now I don't know how long Patrick Peterson is going to stay at Viking. I don't. I hope for maybe like 2 or 3 years, 3 or 4. That's what I would hope for long term if he's able to produce the numbers that he's always been able to produce. But last year, he had a decent year. He had 61 tackles. He had 3 interceptions. And look, he's obviously, he's always been the Arizona Cardinals' number one wide cornerback. There's no doubt about it, and I think he's always been the veteran of that defense, considering the fact that he was there the longest. He's been there for a pretty long time, Nate. And him coming to the Vikings, I absolutely love the acquisition because Patrick Peterson has been that big name as a corner for a very, very long time. I love the way he plays. And with that being said, I wish him the best of luck in Minnesota. Welcome to Skull Nation. And we can't wait to see you in the purple and gold.
Yeah, I'll pick up from there. I'll start off with Kyle Long. Yeah, man, the Chiefs are taking my word for it. They're taking notes. They're looking at what they need the most, and what they need the most is an offensive line. And adding Kyle Long to the mix is a really good addition. So I do applaud the Kansas City Chiefs for that. They're actually looking into the situation because they know that this team can still be a Super Bowl contender if you make the right choices. And obviously to start there, you need offensive linemen. So Patrick Mahomes can stay happy, like you said, and he's protected, so he can do all these great things, like you said. So props to the Kansas City Chiefs for fixing their mistakes, and I wish Kyle Long the best of luck in Kansas City. Now let me go to Patrick Pearson. Yeah, I saw this, and I'm like, yeah, this is a good move for Minnesota. I know some people are like, oh, well, he had a bit of a declining year, and you can say that, fine, but having that veteran, especially for the defense, I think this is going to really help the Minnesota Vikings a lot. I think one thing that the defense, one thing that any side of the ball needs in general, whether it be special teams or offense, defense. I think the one thing you need is a veteran. And like you said, it's going to help out your your sophomore corners now. And I really think having that veteran presence is going to help them a big deal. So, with that being said, congratulations to Patrick Peterson on signing with the Minnesota Vikings, and I wish all these players that got their contracts the best of luck in their respective teams. And that is NFL free agency day 4 for you guys.